what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to do my code Geass, Rose of the Recapture, Episode 5, English dub review. So today, they start off where it was left off, where the Neo-Britannians are in their they're in the Damocles. They got F.L.E.I.J.A's ready to go because they want to, destroy the 11s in the ghetto. So Rose is coming up with the plan to, kind of counteract this. Obviously, we see him, aka her, Sakura, using the Geass to take control of soldiers, so she can get closer. Ash is kind of surprised and amazed that how Rose is able to arrange this ahead of time, when in reality she's just using the Geass. We see Nina in this episode basically telling them that they have at least 3 F.L.E.I.J.As left, that Neo-Britannia has 3 F.L.E.I.Jas left. She talked about, they showed like a brief flashback of the final battle between F.L.E.I.J.A Britannia and Snizel, which I thought was a pretty cool callback. But anyways, so we see Nigel Vaughn, who she is basically in this episode. I think this is her debut. I think she was briefly in the last episode, but she gets a lot of screen time here. Nigel Vaughn, she is quite interesting. I think she's going to be a lot more significant of a character than we think. She's I think more of an underrated character right now that's coming out of nowhere, because she kind of was rejecting a lot of what some of the head Neo-Britannian persons were saying, like the person who was in charge of the mission, Divok. He basically he was in charge of the of this, and she kind of was questioning, is like, we're gonna eliminate this many people. So she was kind of questioning things. She still fought. There was a scene with the disguise Sakura, the double. To be clarified, there's 2 Sakuras. There's the Sakura who is supposed to be the actual princess, but she isn't, because the other Sakura, who looks like her, is basically taking her place. So Rose is the real Sakura, but obviously Neo-Britannia doesn't know that. It's very confusing. There is a very big issue with some people about the pronunciation of Sakura because of the spelling issue. But I don't know how it is in the sub, but obviously this is an English dub channel, and some people were commenting this, and again, I have to explain this. I don't know how many more times I have to explain this, but this is an English dub channel. We go by the English dub pronunciation. We do not go by the Japanese pronunciation. So what they say in the Japanese version is irrelevant to me, because that's not what I go by. So it's pronounced Sakura. But anyways, so the fake princess Sakura, basically, what happens is she basically tries to talk to Norlin, who essentially is the real emperor of this whole thing. Norland is the, which, by the way, badass voice by Dan Green. For anybody who doesn't know, but I'm sure you guys know by now, Dan Green is the voice of Yami Yugi and Yugi Moto. He is the voice of Norland, which is just amazing that they were able to get Dan Green to do it. Phenomenal job he has done so far with this character. Norland is basically the one that is controlling Neo Britannia. He is the real emperor of this nation, because Sakura basically is a figurehead. Okay, she isn't doing anything she even says. Like when she tries to reason with him, he basically doesn't listen to her. So he's the real boss of this empire, which is really interesting to say the least, because if he's the real person pulling the strings in this country, then why do you even need an emperor at this point? Like why do you even need an emperor at this point? I guess because maybe I guess Norland is not part of the Britannian royal blood, I guess. But even still, it really kind of, at that point, it's not even really like a real Britannian nation at that point. So I don't really get the concept here. I'm sure we'll learn more about this later. But that was something that I just thought was quite interesting. But anyways, so Rose was able to infiltrate by using the Geass. There's a scene where he's with Ash as they're planning. Well, they were planning stuff out. Ash wanted to go on the front line, but Rose said, "No, I need you for something else." So they're together. I guess because he wanted to make sure that nothing happened. He wanted Ash by her side in case something arose. But she used the Geass on the soldiers and was able to get out of the blockade. So yeah, that's what happened there. Once they start getting in the battle, there is a F.L.E.I.J.A that is used, but they use what the Black Knights have developed, a F.L.E.I.J.A canceller. So the first F.L.E.I.J.A, because they have at least 3 F.L.E.I.J.As, but no more than 3. They could have less, or they could have exactly 3, but no more than 3 according to Nina. So they're going to this battle. They're trying to fight them up. You see, Hariko is also engaging in a battle with some of them, and as well. Ash ends up getting into the first F.L.E.I.J.A is launched. They try to launch it and it fails because they use the canceller. We do see a battle outbreak between Ash and Nolan Vaughn. And it is quite an interesting battle because not so much the battle was an interesting battle because it was kind of a stalemate. They both were kind of equally at the same level. Some of the dialogue was quite interesting, and I think we're going to find out more about these two characters later because I think there is some type of Norin and Ash, I think, know each other. I think they are brother and sister. I don't know this for sure, but the way they because she kind of was like, that those movements, could he be, it's like she didn't even know who he was, but she was thinking I think this is him, so I think because from a couple episodes ago, we found out that Ash was Ash Phoenix, who was a prominent Britannian soldier, apparently, according to Sakura when she used the Geass on him. So, and we know when he battled one of the other Neo-Britannian people that we known that, that something had arose, because he said, is like, why are you with him? Why are you doing this? So I am wondering if this woman soldier uh, is like related to Ash in some way. Um, you know, I think that would be pretty interesting. Because again, it would make sense. They ended up trying to relaunch another F.L.E.I.J.A, by the way. But one of the Japanese soldiers, Sanshingo, basically sacrificed himself to, damage that one. Then the commander gets really pissed off because he doesn't want to fail. Eventually, Norn Vaughn basically wants to pull out and retreat because this was a losing battle. And she even explains it to him that this is a losing battle. And so they end up retreating. The Britannian ends up retreating. He decides to take no for an answer and decides to take the F.L.E.I.J.A with him. And this leads to Rozé and Ash's nightmare frames fusing together like some type of Optimus Prime super mode type thing here. And they, are able to then stop him and defeat him. He dies. But, he was going to do it regardless because he knew failing wasn't an option to Norlin. So that was the end of him. So he is defeated. But then we see another Neo-Britannian higher-up guy basically actually have another F.L.E.I.J.A. Or I guess, I don't know if this was supposed to be the real F.L.E.I.J.A. Maybe that was the fake one. But basically, he had the F.L.E.I.J.A. and he uses it. And it damages. It starts to put damage rippling effects on everything. And now they're trying to figure out what their next move's going to be. And that's how the episode ended. The episode ended basically them scrambling to figure out what they're going to do next. Because they didn't expect them to have another F.L.E.I.J.A. And so yeah, it was everyone's like shocked and like, oh, what are we gonna do now? So a lot of concerns for the heroes right now. I should also mention that some of Rosé's plans got kind of screwed up because the soldiers that were trying to dismantle the Damocles earlier in the episode, basically, they were killed by the soldiers that weren't Geass. So he had to run away from that. But they ended up, in the end, sacrificing it anyways because they used the last F.L.E.I.J.A on the Damocles and took it down. And basically what's going on right now is that because they used the F.L.E.I.J.A on their Damocles, it's basically going to fall right on everybody, basically. So that's kind of what they did. So now it's going to fall on everybody. So now in the next episode, they're going to have to figure out a countermeasure to that, which is going to be quite difficult for them. So, yeah, that's how the episode ended. Pretty good episode. A very, very balanced episode. We didn't get Lelouch or C2 in this episode, unfortunately, other than the little flashback of Lelouch and Snizel briefly. But I wasn't expecting to see them in this episode. We're not going to see CC and Lelouch, or LL, because everyone keeps calling him LL. He is Lelouch, okay? He's LL, he's Lelouch. He's still Lelouch, guys. He's still Lelouch. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm going to call him Lelouch, okay? That's his name. Okay, you can call him LL, that's fine, but he's still technically Lelouch. Like, we know he's Lelouch. Like, you don't have to play dumb here. You know, you can call him whatever you want. You want to call him LL, it's fine too. I don't care, but I'm going to call him Lelouch, okay? But anyways, I didn't expect them to be in this episode. I think we're going to see them sparingly, at least probably until the next season. I am still surprised we haven't seen Colin yet, but this episode, I didn't expect to see them either because this was a battle episode, and they're focused on where they are with the Neo-Britannian stuff right now. But I do expect, like Colin has to appear at some point in this because it doesn't make sense, like how she wouldn't be connected to the Black Knights, since she was like the ace pilot in the Black Knights. So, you know, Cornelius commanding the Black Knights, but which is just insane in itself. But I expect we see Colin at some point in this series. I would be really surprised if she isn't in season 1, by the way. Yeah, like she's got to make at least one cameo in season 1. Like, I would be surprised. I'm honestly surprised we haven't even heard anything about Suzaku yet. But I don't expect Suzaku to be in season 1. Because he's like supposed to be Zero, unless he's like at the end of the unless he's like at the end of the season 1. That's when you would put Zero out there, because Zero is like the, he's the avatar basically of the Black Knights. That's how the group was built up on. So that's the only way I see Suzaku showing up in this, for season 1 at least. Colin's got to show up because, her connection to the Black Knights is obvious. But yeah, nonetheless, this was a really good episode. I'd like to hear what everyone else's thinks on this episode and any of their theories. Just put them out there, I guess, right? This is, there's still a lot not known about these characters, which just makes it even more interesting. I am very, very invested in this. So, yeah. Make sure to comment, rate if you like this video, my videos. If you like this video or my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for all the latest content. Thank you. And that is about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace. Also, make sure YouTube channel SS Ultimate Goku, Instagram the SS Ultimate Goku, Twitch the SS Ultimate Goku, and I do have a Discord link in the description where we discuss stuff like this and other various topics. As well, I do have a YouTube membership, where if you want to be a member, there's a tier list. It is not that expensive, and you get a little couple of perks. Yeah, that's about it. I'm now out. Peace.